All right, I cut another piece. I ended up just throwing the other one away, and the gap in this is much more within the realm of acceptable. Let me see if I can put my hand behind this. So that is, I think that's acceptable. Let me show you the other side. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So now I'm gonna thin this down, and then I'm gonna give it a rough shape. And then I gotta drill, there we go. Drill some holes in this way. Let me see how far this comes up. Yeah, that deep. And all right. Let me, I'm gonna work on this a little bit more. I'm gonna cut it off here and then I'm gonna thin it out. Can't get nothing done when you're wearing a cat. I was going to use some spalted tamarind on this, but the spalted tamarind, I got to looking at it closer, has wormholes. And I have two pieces of it and they both have wormholes. So this is some Amboyna. It is $41 worth of wood right there. I can't think of anything else to use that would justify the scroll work and the finger guard and the amount of time this has taken me. And when I do sell this, I'm gonna have to ask more than I would get from my BC Specials just because of the amount of, like I said, this is 41 bucks right here. Anyway, let me get to work, and I'm gonna cut this off and start thinning it, and then I gotta go up to my other shop. I have a long bit that I can drill in here, like maybe 3 holes or so, and then I'll have to figure out. I don't know if I'm gonna burn it in or not. I think if I drill it out, it will burn in real easy after that. So we'll see. But I'm gonna get this cut right there where that line is and thin that down right now. Golly, another inch and a half. It's taken me 2 hours to get this that far. Boy, oh boy. All right, I think I'm gonna go to my other shop and find a longer drill bit. I'm not quite in that deep yet to that line. All right, now I can heat treat this. Heat treat it, clean it up, and you know what? I'm not gonna heat treat it. I'm gonna roughly shape this handle. Boy, that was a lot of freaking work right there, man. A lot of work. Okay, so I think it's time for a cup of coffee. You know what? I think I'm gonna stop working on this today. I was going to. I gotta drill the handle. I gotta drill straight through the tang. I'm gonna put one brass pin through it, but I gotta do that before I harden it because it will be hard. You know, the whole tang and everything will be hard. And I'm starting to get, you know, antsy, nervous, whatever, that I'm gonna ruin everything. That's an expensive piece of wood to waste or to ruin. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow, and tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'll stick my heater in my oil, and then I'm gonna go to my other shop and get a long clamp and clamp this and this, you know, clamp it together tightly, and then drill a hole and hammer my pin down in there, and then I'll give this some rough shape. I have thinned this down some. You can see all the brass on the on the floor there. I was going to sand like a curve in here, but I'm not. I'm just going to make this oval shaped and polish it, because I won't be able to polish it once it's on the knife, and give the handle its rough, you know, rough in shape. The front I'll have to, you know, finish, because if it's not finished, there's no way I can get to it, sand it. So I'm gonna have to take it off and put it back on an awful lot. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Yeah, I'm stopping now. And I'll tell you what, this is probably gonna be the only one of these I'm gonna make. This is the potential to screw up, you know, a piece of brass, a piece of wood, and the knife is just so great. And you know, I'm getting there. When this is done, it'll be okay. You know, I'll show it to you and all. But my God, what it's taken me to get this far is just amazing. Who knows? Maybe if I do one, I'll have the confidence to do another one. But right now, this has just taken me so long to do that I'm thinking it may not be likely that I'll do another one. All right, let me get my dog and clean the cat turds one more time, and go to the house and eat some lasagna. I am a member of about a half a dozen knife making forums on Facebook, and I learned the hard way: don't post your work if you don't want people who don't even make knives critiquing your work. I'll give you an example. I posted a knife that I worked really hard on and took about 3 days polishing, sanding it up to high grit, and then polishing it. And I showed it on one of the forums, and I had this guy just tear me apart about how you couldn't use a polished knife out in the bush, although I don't know why you couldn't. The polish wouldn't last, but you could still use it. A hardened steel is hardened steel, no matter how shiny it is. But anyway, the guy, he just went on and on about what a horrible knife it was, how I wasted my time. Even the wood that I chose for the handle was the ugliest wood he'd ever seen. And of course, this guy had never posted any pictures of his work. I went to his Facebook page. He didn't have any pictures of knives that he made, but he was a member of a knife making forum. And I said, well, maybe when you post some pictures of your work, people will take your critique a little more seriously. And he said, well, I don't feel the need for others' approval. I said, but you feel the need to critique other people's hard work that they're proud of. That's not how it works. If you don't have the guts to show your own work, you don't get to complain about other people's work. So, I'm telling you that because generally I never comment on these forums. Ricky experienced the same thing that I'm now experiencing. I'm going to use a very, very bad word. So if you don't like hearing bad language come out of my mouth, here's what I'm finding. That forums on Facebook especially are filled with men who are cunts. That's all. Little cunts who would never in a million years say the things to your face that they say on a keyboard. Anyway, that's my bad word for the day. So I'm telling you this because I left a comment on a forum, and the discussion was, let me turn this around. The discussion was whether to use lubrication when you're sanding your knife steel, and this is where I sand my knives. And let me quantify my expertise by telling you, I doubt that there are many people that spend as many hours as I do sanding knives. And the reason is, I really enjoy sanding knives. It's hard work, it's tedious work, it's very dirty, it costs a lot of money in sandpaper, but I like sanding my knives, and that's the reason I do it. Another reason I do it is because I have a 2x42 jet sander that you can't adjust the speed, and at a certain speed you can no longer sand on your knife, or else it just turns it instantly blue and ruins the knife. So I bring my knives up to about 120 on that belt grinder, not this one, but the one over there closer to the wall. It's a 2x42. If I had a 2x72, I could probably eliminate a lot of the hand sanding, but the cost of a 2x72 is in the thousands, several thousands of dollars. And that little machine there cost me about 400 bucks, and I've been using it for about 4.5 years now. And since I don't mind hand sanding, I can't see myself ever buying a 2x72 because the return on investment for me, a hobby knife maker, just isn't there. So anyway, I put my 2 cents in on sanding. Since I know a lot about it, I've spent more hours sanding than most knife makers ever will. So I felt like my opinion, hold on, I gotta set this cat down 1 second. Well, apparently I'm not going to set the cat down, so I'll be distracted. Well, I have tried over the years of me hand sanding, I've tried different forms of lubrication, because when I first started going to these forums and when I first started watching videos, you had to use some form of lubrication on your sandpaper, between your sandpaper and the steel, for, you know, reasons. And everybody had their own reasons why you had to use some form of lubrication. So I tried straight water, and I saw no difference between sanding with no lubrication at all, sanding dry, and water. Didn't make my sandpaper last any longer. It didn't make sanding go any quicker. It just made a huge mess that you had to constantly wipe and reapply water. And you know, I use top of the line sandpaper, Rhino, Red Line Rhino Wet. In my opinion, there's no better sandpaper for knife makers. So water didn't work. So then I started using window cleaner at about, first I tried 50-50 water and window cleaner. Then I tried 25% window cleaner, 75% water. And still, no difference between, you're gonna see now she's digging her claws in me. When she falls, the claws come out and into my skin they go. So no difference in how long my sandpaper lasted. No difference in how quickly I was able to sand. So then I tried a thin gun oil, very thin. I tried WD-40, no difference. I tried a thin gun oil, no difference. So about 2 years ago, I started sanding dry. And over time, I have, tried again to, make something work for lubrication. And here's the only benefit I see. First, there's absolutely no benefit. It does not make the sandpaper last longer. It doesn't make the steel look better. It doesn't help you sand scratches out easier. It makes absolutely zero difference, except it eliminates, virtually eliminates the dust created by sanding, which I have this extractor fan that I put below my vise, and it sucks the sanding dust out and down through the floor of my shop, and I never see it again. So dust isn't a problem for me. And that would be the absolute only reason I think you would need to sand with lubrication if you were, you know, having problems with the top of this cat. Boy, when she wants some petting, she will not leave you alone. Now she's after the phone. Okay, so that's my opinion, and I may link this to that forum, and I'm sorry I used the C word, but I'm telling you, there's no better way to describe some of these awful people disguised as men on these forums. And I've known a lot of people that don't go near the forums for the very same reason, that there's nothing you can say. You can't eliminate them. You can't have a conversation with normal people about knife making without these people chiming in and telling you why you're all wrong and stupid, and your knives look like junk. You just can't get away from them. So it ruins a lot of forums, because if the moderators don't do something about them, the next thing you know, your entire forum is filled with nothing but those types, and normal people who want to have conversations and share information and learn information, they just stop going to those. Damn it, she did it again. They stop going to those kind of forums and just don't bother. And I'm at that point now where I don't place any real value. You can't get any real information because it's so polluted with the man cunts. Yeah, I said it again. This may not even get by censors. So that's my opinion, and I base that opinion on, God, thousands of hours of sanding with and without lubrication of different types, dry, and man, I've tried them all. So there you go. That's my 2 cents. Everybody has 2 cents. Well, maybe my dog will help distract the cat long enough where I can get a little work done. I just wanted to add this. One of the reasons I like sanding, and most people don't, is because I spent, God, 2/3 of my life driving an 18-wheeler, long haul. And one of the reasons I like driving is because once you got on the road and shifted your gears and got up to speed, you could pretty much have the rest of the day to think. And that's what I like about sanding. It puts you in the same frame of mind where you can think. And it doesn't have to be about sanding. It could be about anything. Knives you want to make. All right, so I'm going to get back to work on this hidden tang over here. I got my big clamp. I'm going to clamp this together, drill me a pinhole, start shaping the handle. All right, this doesn't fit easy. Oh yeah, I have a reamer that I'm probably gonna use. Okay, that's good. All right, let's get it out of there. Well, there's a start. Yeah, perfect size for a medium-sized hand. All right, now I'm going to start shaping the brass a little bit, and then I'll take the handle off and work the handle. All right, I've got all the machine shaping that I dare do done. Did I dare do? Did I dare do done? And I'm going to start sanding this by hand now. I'm liking it. And that is, I'm glad I used this wood. That is some beautiful wood. Amboina burl. It's a little hard to come by. And maybe it's not hard to come by, but I'm never at the right place at the right time to buy it. Because every place that sells it is out and don't know when they'll get any more. And I bought this one piece, and I was glad to have it. So that's what we're looking like. All right, let's get this apart. And I'm going to polish this up. Actually, no, I'm going to start sanding on this and then put it together to make sure I don't got to take any off of this. And when this is flush with this, then I'll polish this up. Okay, cat wants petting again. Watch this. That's what that's gonna look like. God, that is some beautiful wood. And this is why everybody wants it. So I am sanded up to 180. Actually, no, what am I sanded up to? 220. This is 320. I'm fixing to sand 320. And then 500. And then I'm gonna buff it and see what it looks like. This is just, this handle shape is nothing that I've ever done. It's just, I drew it out on the wood and pictured in my mind what I wanted it to look like. And that's it. I like it. So this is definitely, absolutely going to be a one-off, 100%. Never make another one that's just like this. All right, let me get to putting that 320 on it. Here, let's put this in the sunshine. Where's the sun? That is a pretty piece of wood. Now, I'm going to polish the brass, and then I heat treat the knife and temper it. And tomorrow I'm going to be in town. Tomorrow is my eye doctor. He got to check out my bionic eye, so that'll be all freaking day. Anyway, I like it. It's, you know, coming out a little better than I thought it was going to. I was telling a friend of mine this morning on the phone that all my life I have come up against a wall. And the first time I noticed this was when I was in Germany. I tried really hard to learn German. Now, I got really good at German, but I never became fluent and to the point where I was completely conversational in German, and I didn't have to resort to English, because even back in the 70s, most Germans, at least young Germans that were my age, I was in Germany, and I was 17 years old when I was in the army in Germany. And I tried to get past what I could only refer to as a wall. I wanted to be completely fluent and conversational in German and not have to revert to English words. But I just couldn't get past this wall. And when I came back to the States, there were many other things in my life that I tried and I did well at, but I couldn't get to the point where I wanted to be at. And then later on in life, I started running. For 20 years, I run basically the South and the West. And in some areas, if you didn't speak Spanish, it was going to be very difficult to get your job done. And I like learning languages, and I had nothing but time sitting in the truck. So I got Spanish on tape, Spanish on CD when CDs came out. I am at the point now where I know a lot of Spanish, but I'm not conversational, I'm not fluent, and have not got past the wall. And here's what happens when I come up on this wall that I can't seem to push past. I quit, I stop. And I've done that with Spanish, and I did that with German, and some other things. That freaking cat is bugging the shit out of me. Damn. So that's where I'm at with this knife. I'm totally confused. I'm just about had it with this cat. This is one needy freaking cat. Look at my dog. My dog is laying here, just happy to be in my lap, peaceful and content. And the freaking cat will not leave me alone. Up in my face, wanting me to pet her. I'm just about had enough of the cat, where I want to lock her. Ow, you little... See, when I don't pay attention to her, oh, you are so going outside. My God. You are one needy cat, man. I'm going to have to lock you out of my knife shop. Anyway, back to the story. I'm kind of at that point with my knife making. I'm very, very happy with the knives I'm making. I'm proud of each knife I send out. But there's this wall. I want my knives to be museum quality, absolutely flawless, and other knife makers could pick up my knives and see where I could have improved, or where I haven't quite got something to perfection, even down to finishing my handles. That is a beautiful handle. The wood is beautiful, the polish is beautiful, but it's not museum quality. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. And years ago, my wife and I used to compete in shooting matches, and we were both really good. And my ranking, out of a sport with about 30,000 worldwide competitors, I was in the top 3,000 score-wise, but I could not get past the wall. I wanted to be, top 100, top 10, but I couldn't get past the wall, and I don't know what else to call it. Maybe some people just are not destined to perfect anything. I'm not unhappy. I'm not unhappy with my knives. I'm mad that I can't get past the point where they look just fine. Nothing wrong with them at all. But I can't get past they look just fine. I want to get to the point where somebody picks up my knife and is just in awe that human hands could do that, because I see that type of work, and that's the kind of work I want to do. And knife making is the last endeavor in my life, because I'm old, and how many chances do you get to be good at something? It's the last endeavor that I will likely try to perfect. Don't get me wrong. I was happy with the amount of German I learned, but it wasn't all that I wanted to learn. I was happy with the amount of Spanish I know, but unless I move in with a Mexican family that doesn't speak any English at all, I'm doomed to just know the Spanish that I know. And I don't know how to get past this wall, that knife making that I'm coming up against in knife making. You know, I think it's real easy to blame it on your tools, but realistically, I am somewhat limited by my tools. But on the other hand, I have used tools my entire life, and I know how to get around a tool's shortcomings. I know how to use something else that would work just as well. That I'll use a 2x72 as an example. A 2x72, you get this long arm, and it's got tiny little rollers where with those rollers you could get into tight areas like this here without having a hand sand. And boy, that is a nice hunk of wood. And but I have other things, you know. I have this. Not for long if I keep dropping it. And this. And I bought these because I had to do things that I can't do on the 2x42 that a 2x70 could. So there's no excuses tool-wise. There are exceptions. There are things that could perhaps make it a little easier, but I don't care about easy. I care about breaking through this wall that is preventing me from getting to the point I want to be with my knives. And maybe, just maybe, I'm just destined to be an average person at everything I do. There's not one thing I excelled at in my life except, and this means nothing to anybody but me, backing an 18-wheeler into a spot. There was never a spot. I don't know how to say this to people that don't understand that backing an 18-wheeler trailer into an area to unload is never an easy thing. And you have trucks on either side that you have to worry about not hitting. And my earliest truck driving years were in the New England states, and docks up there were not meant for 53 footers and 280-inch wheelbase Kenworths. They were meant for 40 footers with cab overs. And I could, if anybody previously had ever put a 53 footer and a long wheelbase truck in there, I knew I could do it. Anyway, that was one of the few things that I had achieved what I call perfection. I don't believe there was anybody better than me at backing up. I don't want to be the best. I want to be able to pick up my knife, or somebody else to pick up a knife and be in awe of the quality. And I'm not at that point. Yeah, 10 minutes of me flapping my gums. Boy, I'm real sorry. I mentioned that I sit out here in sand and I have a lot of time to think. And then my friend who called me and just wanted to chat on his way to work, I ended up chewing his ear off, telling him the same thing that I just told you. That this here has been a bit frustrating. Not because this isn't coming out okay, but that's all it is. It's just okay. And that's not what I'm looking for. It's maybe even average or better than average. But I'm not happy with that. I want perfection, and something is holding me mentally back from achieving the perfection I want. And I'm not a perfectionist, I don't have OCD, and I can accept things that are less than perfect. But some areas that I've put all my efforts into, and all my time, and all my money, everything here is expensive, including running the machines and the electricity. The sandpaper, I got a trash can full of sandpaper just on this one knife. So it's not about money. I don't want to make more money on these knives. I'm making these knives, 99% of these knives I'm making because I really enjoy making knives. And the other 1% is I have to sell them in order to keep my shop, in steel and sandpaper and cat food. Okay, I can't make you listen to any more of me flapping my jaws. That's 12 minutes plus whatever I add on before this. So I think I'm done showing you this for now. because my next step is to polish this and to heat treat this. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, I'll probably show you this cleaned up and me, you know, assembling this and epoxying everything together. And that will be for sale. And I don't even know what I'm going to ask for it. It will be about 2.5 weeks I've spent working on it. Okay, and that's $41.50 to get that, and you know, with shipping probably $45. So I'm already into it, parts wise. You know, $75 or so, counting the sandpaper. Okay, I'm gonna drink me a cup of coffee. All right, I thought I'd show it to you all together. The next step is heat treating and tempering. And then all this pretty shine I gotta mess up cleaning that blade back up. It's my very first hidden tang with a brass finger guard, and it's gonna be all right. It's not the perfection I was looking for, but it's gonna be all right. Okay, let me go crank up my charcoal heater. And I'll get this heat treated and tempered. So I'll show you this. I know I talked a lot, and in one of my clips I even used a very bad word. Sorry.